Level 1. The Rich Kid. You are born in Queens, New York, in a big brick house at the top of a hill, and from the window you can already see the difference between your street and the others. Your father builds things, apartment blocks, row houses, whole neighborhoods full of rent checks. You learn the word developer before you learn most other words. You ride along in the car as he inspects buildings, and you watch him count, in his head, what every door is worth. You are loud. You are restless. You throw rocks. You talk back to teachers. You fight bigger kids, and you do not back down. Your father watches you the way he watches a property with potential, sees the value, sees the risk. At the dinner table the lesson is the same every night, even when no one says it out loud. There are two kinds of people in this world, the killers and the losers, and you had better decide early which one you are going to be. You are 11 years old, and you have already decided. You will be the biggest. You don't know at what, yet. You just know it has to be the biggest. Level 2, the Cadet. You are too much for them, so they send you away. Military Academy, up the Hudson, where the beds are made with rulers and the day starts before the sun. The first week breaks most boys. It does not break you. You get yelled at an inch from your face, and you learn to yell back louder. You learn to shine your shoes until you can see yourself, to march, to take an order, and to give one. You make captain. You win the medals for neatness, for bearing, for command. You discover something here that will follow you your whole life, that people respond to confidence the way iron filings respond to a magnet. Stand up straight, speak first, never apologize, and the room tilts toward you. You are 17, in a pressed uniform, and you already understand that the trick is not to be the strongest man in the room. The trick is to make everyone believe you are. Level 3, the Wharton Man. You go to the best business school in the country, because second best is for losers, and your father did not raise a loser. You sit in lectures on finance and real estate while other students take notes. You are not taking notes, you are bored. You already know the only thing that matters: location, leverage, and the nerve to sign your name to a number that should terrify you. While they study theory, you study men, who folds, who bluffs, who can be flattered, who can be frightened. You graduate, and you walk out with one asset worth more than the diploma in your hand: the absolute certainty that you are smarter than everyone around you. Whether it's true does not matter. You believe it, and belief, you have learned, is contagious. Level 4, the Heir. You join your father's company, and you hate it immediately. Brooklyn, Queens, walk-up apartments, broken boilers, tenants behind on rent, a janitor's ring of keys. You collect checks door to door in neighborhoods nobody famous has ever heard of. This is not the empire you saw from the window. This is the basement of it, but you watch, and you learn the machine from the inside, how the financing works, how the city works, how a permit moves faster when the right man makes the right call. Your father is careful, conservative, content to be rich and invisible. You are neither. You look across the river at Manhattan, at the skyline lit up like a promise, and you make a decision that will define everything. The outer boroughs are where money is made quietly. You are not interested in quiet. You are going to cross that bridge, and you are going to put your name on the sky. Level 5, the Developer. Manhattan does not want you. You are an outer borough kid with your father's money and a mouth that's too big, so you do the only thing you know how to do. You act like you already belong, until people forget you ever didn't. You buy a dying hotel by the train station, and you talk a bank, and a city desperate for any good news, into betting on you. It opens gleaming, and suddenly your name is in the paper. Then comes the big one. A tower on the best avenue in the world, sheathed in bronze glass, with a pink marble lobby and a waterfall in the atrium, and your name spelled out in letters 3 feet high above the door. You do not just build a building, you build a brand. You learn that the press will print whatever you give them if it's loud enough, so you give them everything: the deals, the women, the numbers, half of them invented. You are in your 30s, you are on the cover of every magazine, and you have figured out the secret that will make and nearly unmake you. It was never about the real estate. It was always about the name. Level 6, the Casino King. If your name sells towers, why not sell luck itself? You go to the boardwalk, and you build palaces of glass and gold, chandeliers and slot machines ringing all night, your name burning in lights over the ocean. You buy a yacht the length of a city block. You buy an airline and paint your name on the tail. You buy a famous old hotel just to own the most famous address there is. Everything you touch gets bigger, louder, more gold. The magazines call you the comeback before you've even left. You are 40 years old, and you are, by every measure that can be printed, on top of the entire world. And here is the thing no one tells you at the top: you cannot feel it. The view from up here is exactly as empty as the view from anywhere else. So you do the only thing that has ever quieted the noise. You reach for something bigger. Level 7, the Comeback. Then the tide goes out, and it takes everything. The casinos cannot pay for themselves. Too much gold, too much debt, too many palaces and not enough kings to fill them. You owe billions you do not have. Bankers who used to laugh at your jokes now sit across the table and slide papers at you. There is a night when you walk past a homeless man on the street and you think, quietly, that he is worth more than you are, because at least he owes nothing. This is the level that ends most men. It does not end you. You discover the one trick the bankers never planned for. You are too big to fail, because your name on the door is the only thing keeping the door open, so they keep you. They restructure, they refinance, and you smile for the cameras the entire way down, as if it were all part of the plan. You stop building things with bricks. You start selling the only thing that never went bankrupt, the name itself. Steaks, ties, water, a university. You license your name to towers you don't own, in cities you've never seen. You are no longer a developer, you are a logo. And the logo, it turns out, is worth more than the buildings ever were. Level 8, the Showman. Television comes looking for you, and it is the most natural fit of your life. They put you in a boardroom that isn't real, and a tower that is, and they hand you a single line to say at the end of every episode. You point a finger across the table, you say, "You're fired." 40 million people watch. For an hour a week you are exactly the man you always told everyone you were. Decisive, unbeatable, the boss of bosses. The show runs for years. You are no longer rich famous, you are famous, the kind of famous where strangers shout your catchphrase across the street. You learn the final lesson of your career, the one that changes the world. It doesn't matter what is true, it matters what plays. A good story, told with total confidence, beats a true one told quietly, every single time. You are in your 60s. You have conquered real estate and you have conquered television. There is exactly one stage left that is bigger, and you have always reached for the biggest. Level 9, the President. You come down a golden escalator, and the experts laugh. They laugh on every channel, every night. They have run the numbers, and the numbers say it is impossible, and you have spent your entire life proving that the numbers do not understand confidence. You do not run a campaign. You run a show, rallies like rock concerts, a fight every morning, a name that is already on half the skyline of America. You say the thing no one else will say, the way no one else will say it, and the cameras cannot look away, and the cameras are the whole game. On a cold night in November, the impossible number turns your way, and the laughing stops. You raise your right hand on the steps of the Capitol. The boy from the brick house on the hill in Queens is now the most powerful man on earth. You got the biggest thing there is. And in the quiet of that enormous White House, late at night, you find out the secret that was waiting at the top of every level. There is no level after this one. There is no bigger. There was never going to be a number large enough to fill the room you have been trying to fill since you were 11 years old. Level 10, the Legacy. Now you are old. The hair is white under the gold. The men who built the empire with you are dead, or gone, or testifying. You have more enemies than you can count, and fewer friends than you can name on one hand, and the difference between the two gets blurrier every year. You sit in a gilded room in Florida, surrounded by everything your name can buy, and you watch yourself on the television you used to rule. They are still arguing about you. They will argue about you long after you are gone, and some part of you knows that this, being the thing the whole world cannot stop talking about, was the only victory you ever actually wanted. You walk the empty marble hall at night. Your footsteps echo. Every wall has your name on it, and the house has never felt so quiet. And somewhere out there, in a small town in a country you have never visited, a loud restless kid throws a rock through a window, talks back to a teacher, refuses to back down from a bigger boy, and stares up at a skyline he has decided, with absolute certainty, that he is going to own one day. He doesn't know what it costs. He doesn't know there is no number big enough. He just knows it has to be the biggest. He has no idea what he's signing up for. He has already decided, and so it begins again.